Hello YouTube fam, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Tina and I make videos on lifestyle, home, and DIY projects every single week. And you guys, this is the last DIY video that I'm doing in this apartment. We're starting to pack everything up, so this is gonna be the last time that you guys see this background, which is such a bittersweet moment. And when this video goes up, we'll actually be on our big road trip to Chicago. So if you guys wanna stay tuned, feel free to check me out over on Instagram because I'll be updating every day over there. And I do have one more video in this apartment, so make sure that you guys stay tuned for that. But for today's video, we're doing some dollar store DIYs. And honestly, these are some of my favorite things that I've created from the dollar store. I think they look so high end and I think you guys are gonna love these projects. And a big thank you to Logitech for sponsoring today's video. I am really excited to show you guys my latest obsession. And before we get started, don't forget to like and subscribe down below and turn on your notification bell so you guys know when I post videos. And now we can get started on the first project. So I often get questions from you guys on how I get inspiration for DIY projects, especially when it comes to things like dollar store DIYs. And most of the time it comes from seeing things on Pinterest or Instagram or even in stores. So it might be a certain pattern or a technique or a style that I really like. So I end up taking a photo of it or bookmarking it on my iPad. And when I'm ready to get started, I refer back to those photos and see how I can rework it into a project with materials that I find at the dollar store or at the craft store. So a lot of that process is done on my iPad, and I'm really excited to show you guys the Combo Touch from Logitech. This has honestly been a game changer for me, and if you guys have an iPad, you definitely need one of these. So here she is. I'm honestly obsessed with this and I cannot believe that I didn't have one of these before. So on the actual iPad, you have this cover here and it just feels super nice and has a kickstand, which is super awesome. And then on this bottom portion here, you have a full keyboard as well as a trackpad, and this is really easy just to snap on and off. And I am just so in love with how versatile this is. And one thing you guys should know about me is that I'm really clumsy, so I actually have dropped this a couple of times and this does a really good job of protecting it as well. And now that I have the Combo Touch on it, I'm able to use it more like a laptop and have its full functionality, which I really love. So for this first project, I was actually scrolling on my Instagram and I was reminded of an idea that I've been wanting to try for a while. So I've seen a lot of DIYers use those cheap canvases that you can find at the dollar store. So these are pretty small, but for $1 you can not complain, and I've seen a lot of people use the frames inside of them. So that is my plan for this first project, and I've had this idea bookmarked forever, so now it is time for me to try it for myself. Hello from VoiceOver Tina. I'm first going to flip the canvas over and remove it from the frame, and pliers are definitely going to come in handy for this step, and you can also use them to take out any extra staples from the back. This frame is actually a really nice wooden rectangle with mitered corners, so it's perfect for so many projects. And unfortunately, when I removed it from the canvas, I realized that the front was stapled into already, and it seemed like there was maybe mistakes made onto it, so they removed it and then did it again on the other side. So instead of trashing this and starting over, I took some spackling from the dollar store and I filled in each one of the little holes. And this really doesn't take a lot of time since these are really small, so if you don't have a defective canvas like I do, you definitely do not need to do this step. After that dried, I gave it a very light sanding, and then I went ahead and used a chalked paint in black to give it a beautiful matte finish, and I'm just painting that into every nook and cranny. Originally, I wanted to stain this piece, but since we did find those little holes in the front, I ended up just doing the black, which I think is going to work fine as well. Moving on to the next step, I thought it'd be cool to turn this into a tray, so I'm going to add some web caning to the back of it, and this is going to act as the bottom of the tray, and I really want to make sure that this is tight so that it would hold everything up. So I'm going to wet the cane with some warm water, and I'm just going to let that soak. This is going to make it so much easier to work with, and I'm using my staple gun to attach it to the back of the frame, and I'm also making sure that I avoid any staples that are underneath. And I don't know if it's just me or my staple gun, but I swear you guys, I will get my staples on there perfectly, and then all of a sudden one will decide to go on all wonky. I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate to this, but at this point I think I'm just going to blame it on my staple gun because I am definitely getting better at my staple gun skills. So when the caning dries, it's actually going to shrink a little bit, and this is going to make it very taut. So doing that extra wetting step is really important, and this is going to help support the weight of whatever you place onto the tray. And if there's any excess caning, you can go ahead and just cut that right off of the edges. And while that's drying, I went ahead and painted these wooden doll heads black to match with the tray, and I thought that these would look really cute as little legs and give it a very unique look. To attach those on, I'm just using some good old wood glue, and I find this works really well for bonding web caning and wood, so if you're ever doing a project with those two materials, I would definitely suggest using some wood glue. I'm placing that into each one of the little corners, and I'm just going to let that dry, and now it's done. I'm really loving how this project all came together. I think the black and the caning is just so beautiful. I'm really glad that I was able to salvage a defective frame and finally try out this DIY hack. My brain is already dreaming up of other things to create with the frame, and this one just looks so high-end and is so perfect for a coffee table or an entryway. So moving on to the next project, I was in the school supply section at the dollar store and I spotted these little pack of erasers. So I had an idea to use this to kind of create a stamp out of them. And I thought we could try to create a fun art print with this. And before I do anything, I like to hop onto my iPad and get an idea of what I want to do. So I took the keyboard off the Combo Touch and I'm using my iPad to plan out my design. And I'm a very visual person, so I like to sketch out all my different ideas before I go into the actual project and cut things out. So these are a few of the options, and can we also take a moment to appreciate the kickstand? I just find it so much easier to draw on my iPad now that I can elevate it however high or low I need it to be. If you guys are interested in checking out the Combo Touch or any other Logitech items, I will have the link down below with all the information. And if you guys have an iPad Pro, I truly cannot recommend this enough, so be sure to check it out. And now it's time to make our design come to life. Okay, you guys, so I'm first cutting off the ends of this eraser to make it a little bit easier to use. So now you can see it is a rectangle shape, and then I'm creating an arch shape by tracing it out with this little paint container. Then with a small carving tool, I'm going straight onto the eraser and I'm gonna cut out the arch shape. And when I'm doing this, I'm going very slowly just to ensure that I'm cutting it deep enough and to have a lot of control while doing this. You can also buy these wood carving tools from the Dollar Tree or even Michael's, and it comes in an assortment of tips. So for this project, I used a curved one as well as an angled one. And basically, I got this idea from carving out linoleum blocks for screen printing, which I had tried once in high school, so this totally reminds me of that. And you guys will see that I'm carving out just enough so that the design is raised, and that way it's going to create a nice stamp. Now when it comes to the paint, I'm actually just going to mix in some baking soda, and this is going to add a really nice texture to them. And when I go to stamp my eraser into the paint, I'm just going to try to get the smallest bit on there, and I also am going to wipe off some of the excess. We're going to create an ombre effect by starting with the darkest color at the bottom, and you're going to see that I'm just stamping this across the whole way. Now we're going to move on to the next row, so we're going to create the ombre effect, and I'm just going to add in a teeny tiny bit of white. This is going to lighten the color, and we're basically just going to repeat this step with every row. I really love the texture from the baking soda and also the variation of each one of the shapes as you stamp on it. So I noticed if you stamp it a little bit lighter, it's going to give you a really unique effect, and I really love how this looks. This design could also be used to create a fun color palette to match your room or even a rainbow. And I think this looks really great, especially since it's very simplistic but also has such a graphic element to it. Now that we have it stamped all the way across to the top, you can just go ahead and let this dry and then just pop it into a frame. Alright you guys, this print was a really fun way to experiment with a Dollar Tree item, and I think it came out really cute. I can totally imagine a diptyque of this where you create a set of them that match each other, so I would love to know what other designs you guys think that I should try next. So I could not do this video without sharing one fall DIY. So I did spot these little pumpkins from the dollar store. So they come in this bright orange color with some black splatter paint. So we definitely are going to change that up. And they also have clips on the back. So this is perfect if you have a wreath or want to pin it up anywhere. But I think I'm probably going to get rid of that. And my plan is to create something a little bit more chic with these. So let's go ahead and get started. To start this next project, I'm removing the pumpkins from the clips, and this was actually really easy to do since the glue on them was not strong at all. This orange and black splatter paint on the pumpkin has got to go, so to cover it, I'm using these hula skirts from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to take 6 strands of them, and taking 2 strands at a time, I'm going to create a long braid. From there, I'm removing the stem on the pumpkin, and we're just gonna go ahead and just wrap the braid from the top and use some hot glue there. So the look that we're trying to achieve are those raffia pumpkins that I've been seeing everywhere. They are so popular right now, and you could totally do this with a larger pumpkin to create some fall decor, and I think this will look really cute on a shelf or on an entryway table. And if you run out of the braid before you get to the end of the pumpkin, you don't have to worry at all. You could just add on another one right on top of that one, and I find that it looks really seamless. So here's how our pumpkin's looking. I think that it would be great for a wreath, so I thought that I would create a minimal style wreath with it. One of my favorite things to use for the base of a wreath is to use an embroidery hoop, and these are really cheap to get from the craft store, and we're just gonna need the inner hoop for this project. I'm also using these little floral stems that I have from last year, and you can also find so many at the Dollar Tree or at your local craft store. So what I like to do first is just to cut out each one of the stems and then build it onto the hoop. This really helps me visualize where I want to place everything before I glue it down. And I love an asymmetrical wreath, so you're going to see that each side is not going to be exactly the same. And one thing that I really like to do is to cut the leaves into smaller pieces, especially if they're too large, just so that you don't waste any of the florals. And I don't think that I've ever actually bought a wreath before because I always just prefer to DIY them, and it's always just so much more cost effective and just a lot of fun to do it myself. You could also use dried florals and leaves, and that would give it such a beautiful fall look and really tie in with those raffia pumpkins as well. Alright, so now that all the florals are on there, I'm just going to go ahead and glue down our cute little pumpkin in the center here. And after putting that on, since it is the focal point, you can go ahead and just build on it even more to balance everything out. The last thing I'm doing is adding on a long piece of twine to the top, and that's all there is to this project. This wreath is giving me all the fall vibes while still being very minimal, and I just love creating these. They're just so much fun to put together, and this one was just so easy to make with just a couple of florals and a little DIY magic. So there you have it, 3 high-end looking DIYs from the dollar store. I really love how each one of these came out, but I would love to know which one was your favorite in the comments below. And I cannot believe this is the last DIY video I'm doing in this apartment. It's definitely bittersweet, but I have a lot more projects planned in the new house, so make sure you guys stay tuned for all of those. And a huge thank you to Logitech for sponsoring today's video. If you guys would like to check out the Combo Touch or any of their other products, be sure to click on my link down below. If you guys were inspired by any of these projects, make make sure that you tag me over on Instagram. And of course, I have to share some of your beautiful recreations on the screen. In my next video, we're going to be undoing the entire apartment, and I'll also be talking about why we're moving and the house we're buying and all of that good stuff. So if you guys have any questions on that, leave them in the comments down below. And that is it for today's video. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Stay inspired, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!